Dead Children's Playground. Maple Hill Cemetery is the oldest cemetery in Huntsville, Alabama. When the last of the day's warmth drains from the wet ground and the night approaches, the spirits of dead children come out with giggles. The souls of children that are buried in the cemetery are crowding in the playground. Nobody has ever claimed to be attacked by the apparitions. Black Hag's Cell. This place in Ireland is haunted by the ghost of a satanic nun who was buried alive. At night you can hear her loud screams over the hills. It is called Black Hag's Cell by residents because it was there that she was supposed to have done her satanic rituals. One declares that she was seen in a chair outside the nunnery, stone dead and face distorted in horror. Hampton Lilliebridge House. Hampton Lilliebridge House is the most haunted house in Savannah. It is a well-maintained monument of 18th century America, which is supposed to be haunted by a family poisoned by their slaves. The person who visits the house feels eerie chills. The House of Death. People think that living at the 14 West 10th Street in Greenwich Village, New York City, is something threatening. The old brown stones were once the residence of Mark Twain, and many have claimed to see his ghost. The building was called the House of Death after the terrifying incidents faced by the actress and poet Jane Byron Bartell, who lived in the house in the 60s. She had weird experiences of icy hands touching her, hearing footsteps, and even her dog barks for hours at an empty chair. Jerome, Arizona. Jerome, Arizona is now an abandoned town, and mostly aptly, a ghost town. It was dubbed as the wickedest town in America due to mining accidents, burying men under tons of rubble, and tawdry brothels and Chinese opium dens starting up in the seedier areas of town. Husband's Alley was the hub of Jerome's Wheel of Decline, and it's said that the ghostly calls of young girls can still be heard reverberating through the deserted streets. The Ostrich Inn. John Jarman's Inn was situated on Colnbrook's main thoroughfare, and it was a rousing sight for the weary travellers, dusty and fatigued from the long road into London. But when they stayed there for a night, they got the horror of their lives. In the 17th century, at the Ostrich Inn, Jarman, with the help of his wife, killed about 60 people. They boiled them alive and stacked the dead bodies in the cellar. Now, the inn is haunted by ghosts of those unfortunate people. Baker Hotel. If you visit the Baker Hotel, you can still hear the declining echoes of your footsteps, and behind you, a little boy's voice whispers, "It hurts, Mummy." This hotel in Mineral Wells, Texas, was closed in 1972. People usually see a woman in white on the roof of the hotel. 29 Hanbury Street. Jack the Ripper's surgical mutilation binge in the late 1880s plunged London into a sea of terror and formulated one of the first worldwide media crazes in history. One of his victims, named Annie Chapman, was found at 29 Hanbury Street on September the 8th, 1888, with her head almost severed and her uterus cut out from her belly. The headless ghost can still be seen roaming around this place. Atsugi Hangar Bay. Atsugi Hangar Bay is haunted by the kamikaze pilots who committed mass harakiri, which means ritual suicide, upon hearing Japan's surrender to Allied forces. marking the end of World War II in Asia. Members of the armed forces claimed seeing red eyes hovering in the darkness of the unlit hangar, and doors will bang at all hours of the night. Letchworth Village. The mental asylum in the Letchworth, New York, was built in 1911. The asylum was known for raping and abusing its patients. In 1921, approximately 1,200 patients, including small children, were pressed into the severely overpopulated rooms. Many patients were used for medical experiments. Now, throughout the village, children giggling and other ghostly sightings are reported.